Well, hello, everyone. Hello. This is Alexandra Levine live with the America's Pulse Network. You are all in with me tonight, Alexandra Levine. I know my look is a little different tonight. I decided to go with a pair of glasses and do my hair curly this time. And it is so humbling to be with you guys tonight. Breaking news. Let's put up the first slide. So, updates on Andy Wolf. He was one of the National Guardsmen that was shot in the head. His mother says from the hospital, here's the update on Andy for today. Andy remains in stable but critical condition. His fever continues to be maintained with Tylenol. His pain is maintained mainly by oxycodone. He was very alert today and is even beginning to look to move his head slightly to the right to see who was talking. He did his first round of physical therapy and it went great. They had him sit on the side of his bed and they gave him several commands such as lift your head up, which he did, reach out for the nurse's hand, which he did. He even put his left hand behind him to give himself support. His right hand moved a little, but not much. But he has been alert and squeezing our hands quite a bit today. Sweet moment to share. As I was leaning over talking with him, he reached his left hand around the back of my neck and just rubbed my head as if he was comforting me. I miss him so much, and I know God will bring him back to us completely. So please, guys, continue your prayers for Andrew Wolf, for this family. As you know, it was a terrorist attack. He was shot in the head by a terrorist. Let's go to the second breaking news slide. So President Trump has been talking a lot about the blue slips. As you know, my friend Alina Habba, she was overruled by a stupid judge that won't allow her to be the sitting attorney in New Jersey. And Alina Habba is a smart cookie. I know her very well. She's friends with my Jexit spokesperson, my Jexit organization. And it's a shame. It's a shame that the Republican senators are doing everything to stop these good U.S. attorneys. So President Trump, he retruthed today. He said, quote, blue slips are making it impossible to get great Republican judges and U.S. attorneys approved to serve in any state where there's even a single Democrat senator. If they say no, then it is over for that very well-qualified Republican candidate like Alina Habba. Only a really far-left Democrat can be approved. It is shocking that the Republicans under Senator Chuck Grassley of Iowa allow this scam to continue. So unfair to Republicans and not constitutional. I'm hereby asking Senate Majority Leader John Thune, who's a POS, he calls him a fantastic guy, but he's not. And President Trump knows he's not a fantastic guy. He knows he's a piece of crap. To get something done. Ideally, the termination of blue slips. Too many great Republicans are being sent packing, like Alina Habba. None are getting approved. President Donald J. Trump, and he's right. And let's put up the next slide, because this was Senator John Thune's response today, this morning with Dana Perino. He said on Fox News that they're not getting rid of the system. They're going to keep it. It's an old system. It's a great system. It's been in place. These rhinos do not want change. You know why? They don't want to change the system to put real conservative judges and attorneys in. They love having these Democrat, rhino, liberal attorneys and Democrat, rhino, liberal, socialist judges in place. It's disgusting. So John Thune tells President Trump, no, the blue slip tradition is, quote, here to stay, which says Democrats unilaterally block Trump's judicial and U.S. attorney nominees like Alina Habba. Quote, this has been in place for a long time. Both Republicans and Democrats support. Quote, we've moved his nominees at a record rate. By the end of the year, we'll have a record number of his nominees approved. So his argument is, well, we've moved all of his nominees and his cabinet members without the blue, with the blue slip in place. So there's nothing wrong with keeping the blue slip because it worked in some way and didn't work in another. But the judges and the attorneys, the U.S. attorneys are the most important. When you have these liberal ass socialist attorneys or these rhino attorneys, you can't get anything done. It's a real problem, guys, and we need to call it Senator John Thune. He wasn't my choice for Senate Majority Leader. My Senator Rick Scott was, and he would have done a much better job. This guy, John Thune, is Mitch McConnell light. I'm tired of him. I'm sick of him, and I hope we, the people, vote him out soon because he is doing everything he can to hurt President Trump and his agenda. Let's go into segment one. So segment one, people with demons. Let's put up the first slide. So tonight, for segment one, we're going to talk about Candace Owens versus Erica Kirk. For those of you who have been watching either Candace Owens or Erica Kirk is now promoting Charlie Kirk's book, and she's been on Fox News and Fox Business and other media outlets. Well, Candace Owens, of course, she has to take the limelight away from Erica Kirk, and she's on her stupid podcast talking crap about Erica Kirk and saying that the U.S. military had something to do with Charlie Kirk's death, which is insane. So my friend Ayal Jacoby, he writes, Candace Owens' entire show tonight, that was a couple nights ago, attacking Erica Kirk. Actually, that was last night. I thought she'd spare Charlie Kirk's grieving widow. She did not. This is pure evil. The fact that Candace will call herself a Christian is possibly the worst part. And then these were comments that were made under that post. They said she is maniacal. And somebody said, I think we all should now starve Candy, the narcissist, of what she wants the most, attention. I wouldn't care less what she thinks or says or whatever. So why is Candace Owens doing this? What is her objective? Well, I can tell you a little bit of history about Candace Owens and Turning Point. So Candace Owens was a nothing. Somebody put a camera, a microphone in front of her mouth and asked her, what do you think about what the Democrats are doing with the Black community? And would you ever vote Republican? And she said that the Democrats think that Black people are stupid and that the Black people need to hashtag Blexit, or not Blexit, I'm sorry. Oh my God, I'm blanking on it. Not Blexit. Like leave the, no, I was right. It is Blexit. Oh my God, my brain, I'm tired today. So she said that the Democrats need to hashtag Blexit, the Democrat Party, and the Black people need to vote Republican because the Democrats aren't doing anything for us. And she did. And she was a lifetime Democrat, by the way. She voted for Obama. So she decides to flip Republican, jump on the Trump train. And then all of a sudden she's involved with Turning Point USA with Charlie Kirk. Now, for those of you who do not know, Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens had a relationship. They were dating. They had relations. Charlie Kirk really liked Candace Owens. He actually liked her so much that he took her to Israel with her for the move of the embassy, and they stayed together in Jerusalem, and they did have a relationship. And as the relationship was continuing on, as Turning Point USA was expanding, Charlie Kirk asked Candace Owens if she would go to the UK and expand Turning Point USA UK, which she did. What happened when Candace Owens went to the UK? Well, she met Brexit people. She met her husband. Her husband was a part of Brexit. Her husband, and everyone feels this and I feel this, is perpetrating a lot of this propaganda. And there's a lot of anti-Semitism in the UK. Now, I feel bad for her father-in-law because Candace Owens' father-in-law is actually very pro-Jewish and pro-Israel. And recently he had to come out and say, look, I don't feel the same way that my daughter-in-law feels. She's entitled to her opinion. It's freedom of speech. But I love the Jewish people. I love Israel. And I do not condone her comments. So Candace Owens goes to UK and she's hooking up with her husband. Wasn't her husband at the time. And Charlie Kirk is hurt by this because they were dating and he didn't expect her to go over there and find another man. He just expected her to expand Turning Point USA UK. So Candace Owens literally cheated on Charlie Kirk with her now husband. This is a known fact, by the way. So what's Charlie to do? And he gives this woman a platform. I mean, Candace Owens was a nothing before Charlie Kirk. And then Candace Owens talks about nationalism, brings up Hitler. She's making Turning Point USA look really bad because there's a lot of Jewish people and a lot of Israel supporters that are part of Turning Point USA. And the young kids were very, very tormented on the things that she was saying. So there was a lot of controversy and people were calling Charlie Kirk and his donors, they were calling them and saying, look, we can't have this. We're not going to donate to you if you continue to have this woman, support Hitler and all this other crap. And she's clarified her comments to the record. She said she never said that she liked Hitler, but we all know now that it's not true. She did support Hitler and she's a big Jew hater. So I applaud Charlie Kirk for getting rid of her. I applaud Charlie Kirk for saying bye-bye, ta-ta, so long, farewell, Avidase. So then she hops on to Prager University with Dennis Prager, a Jewish man. Builds a career with him. Says she loves Israel, said she loves the Jews, said she was calling out terrorist organizations, saying it was bad for business. So she's all involved with Dennis Prager, and he's making her money, and he's giving her jobs and having her be an interim teacher at Prager University and doing speeches all over the country for PragerU. Then she hops on another train to a man named Ben Shapiro, who owns the Daily Wire, another Jew that hires her. So she's been hired by two Jews at this point, Dennis Prager and Ben Shapiro. And there's a lot of Jews, again, Jewish donors that are a part of Turning Point USA. So she's making a lot of money off the Jews. And she uses the Daily Wire as a way to get more of her voice out. Then October 7th happens, and the real Candace Owens appears. She starts talking about the genocide of the poor Palestinian kids, calling the IDF monsters, going all full anti-Semitic. And people are like, what the hell happened to her? One minute she's pro-Jewish, and then the next minute she's shitting on Jews. She's shitting on Israel. She's shitting on the IDF. She's shitting on Netanyahu. And it's causing a lot of controversy. And it's still causing controversy today. So again, calls were being made to Ben Shapiro, his donors, saying, you can't have this woman on your network anymore. She's bad for business. Get her out of here. And finally, Ben Shapiro, from much pressure from we the people and from donors, he finally got rid of her ass. He fired her. And now she's bitter. Now she really hates Jews because Jews gave her a lot of her livelihood. Ben Shapiro gave her a lot for her livelihood, and Dennis Prager as well. So the girl is like, what am I going to do? All this money that I have with Turning Point and Dennis Prager and a Daily Wire, I don't have anymore. So she's finding a way now to make a lot of money, to get a lot of followers, like $1 million followers. And now she is just spewing out a bunch of Jew hate. And it's a real problem. It's a real problem. And every other day, she keeps making up shit about how Charlie Kirk died. If he was killed by the US military, if he was killed by people that work at Turning Point, if he was killed by his own wife. And she sees Charlie Kirk's wife, Erica Kirk, on all these news outlets. And Erica Kirk didn't say her name, but basically telling her and the other conspiracy theorists to shut the fuck up, basically. And to stop talking crap and stop making crap up because it's not helping. And Erica Kirk is 100% correct that Candace Owens and Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly are making hundreds of thousands of dollars, sometimes millions, making up conspiracy theories and shitting on the Jews. And Charlie Kirk was very pro-Jewish and pro-Israel. He celebrated Shabbat. So Candace Owens, who you can smell the jealousy, decided to shit on Erica Kirk last night and the night before, picking on a grieving widow, saying that she shouldn't be the CEO, that she should just be grieving. Saying, how did she become the CEO? She shouldn't be the CEO. Women shouldn't run companies. Does she not understand what a will is? Charlie Kirk wrote in his will that when he died, she takes over. She is the beneficiary to his life insurance. This is how stupid Candace Owens is. Erica didn't just name herself the CEO. Charlie Kirk put it in writing before he died that if something, God forbid, happened to him, his wife would take over. That's just standard operating procedure. It's called a will. I don't understand what Candace Owens doesn't understand about this. And for her to be jealous that she wasn't Charlie Kirk's wife is disgusting in itself. I mean, no offense. You look at Candace Owens compared to Erica Kirk, there's no comparison. Erica Kirk is a beautiful, stunning woman. It has nothing to do with the color of their skin. Erica Kirk is just a gorgeous woman. And she's very smart and very sweet and very humble. And Candace Owens is evil. She's just pure evil. And the more she talks crap about Erica Kirk, People should cancel her. People should not be watching her. People should be watching us. They should be watching other people. Candace Owens should not have a platform because it's not freedom of speech anymore. It's rhetoric that is dangerous, that could cause Erica Kirk to be killed and other people. And I read all these comments that, oh my God, every time Erica Kirk's, talks, she cries. It's all staged. She's making it up. These are fake tears. Oh, look at her with that tissue. She's getting it ready. And then they accuse her of having, of being too comfortable with J.D. Vance. People are speculating that J.D. Vance is going to leave his wife for Erica Kirk. I mean, all this bullshit. It's like, you don't have anything better to say. Why don't you ask the woman how she's doing? Why don't you ask Erica Kirk, how are you doing? How are your children? That woman goes home every night to herself and her children. No husband, just asleep alone. Her children won't even really know. I mean, they'll know who their father is, but their father won't be walking them down the aisle. Their father won't see their children. Their father won't see them graduate middle school, high school, or college. So all you people on the Candace Owens train, shame on you. Shame on you. And Taylor Robinson had his first court appearance today. And he was snickering and he was smiling. I'm sure Erica Kirk wants the death penalty for him. I want a firing squad. It's legal in Utah. Let the American people see him die the way we all saw Charlie Kirk die. Show it. I want it to be shown. But Erica Kirk is very humble. She says, we have a justice system. Let the justice system do its job. Because remember, you're innocent until you're proven guilty. But for Candace Owens to do what she's doing to make money is so sick. And then Megyn Kelly, of course, because she's in bed with Tucker Carlson and Candace, she calls Candace Owens her friend. She won't condemn her comments. She condones them. What the hell happened to Megyn Kelly? What happened to women supporting women? For Candace Owens to be doing what she's currently doing is detrimental to our nation. And we all should not listen to her anymore. We should turn her off. It's not funny. What she's doing is not funny at all. Let's put up the first slide. Or the next slide, sorry. So this comes from Reverend Jordan Wells. He said, Candace Owens is acting like a jealous ex-girlfriend, and I agree. So demonic and evil. Her husband is a very weak man, aka a pussy, because our house would be in chaos with how insane she has become. And he is weak, but I honestly think that he's perpetrating a lot of this crap because he's from the UK. The UK is very anti-Semitic, and he's loving that she's shitting on the Jews. And they have like 4 children together. And I am in fear. Like, I feel bad for her children. I wish somebody would like take her children and educate them about what their mother is doing. It's very evil when you have anti-Semites as parents or conspiracy theorists as parents. It's a real problem. It's a real problem. What's the solution? You cancel it. You cancel the problem. You get rid of the problem, meaning deplatforming her. And people are like, well, you can't why should we be deplatforming her? She's saying freedom of speech. She has said some very heinous rhetoric that can cost people lives. Nick Fuentes spews out hate speech all the time. When you continuously go after a certain group of people, like Jews, for example, you're putting our lives at stake. You're putting my life at stake, any Jewish person's life at stake. We're targeted at that point. It's like someone constantly on a podcast attacking Christians every 5 seconds, like Islamic Jihad does. Islamic Jihad, they go after Christians all the time. And people listen, and they're like, oh yeah, you're right. That's how people's lives get hurt. I'm telling you guys, Candace Owens is not worth it. She's not worth it. She's a pain in the ass. She's a POS. She's an anti-Semite. She's a jealous hoe. She's just mad that she never married Charlie Kirk. She's mad that she isn't the head of Turning Point USA. And there was a report that came out that said her husband wanted to be the CEO of Turning Point. And then when they found out that it went to Erica Kirk, her husband wasn't happy. So there's a lot of crap behind the scenes that we all don't know. But Candace Owens is an evil, demonic person. Let's put up the last slide. I think there was another slide. Yep, there we go. So this is her idiocracy. She said today, you didn't just get to be widowed into chairman and, she said, you don't just get to be widowed into chairman and CEO. What did Cancer Owens mean by this? So Candace Owens, again, said that Erica Kirk has no business being the chairman and CEO of Turning Point USA. She's a woman. Women shouldn't be running companies. Women are stupid. Where does she come off? Where does she get off? Again, it's called a will. He put it in his will that his wife takes over. My only concern, and I've said this to my Jexit organization said this to many others, and we've reached out to Erica Kirk. Our only concern is that they have an alt-right movement entering into Turning Point USA. A lot of anti-Semites that are entering. In my opinion, Erica Kirk should not have Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson be a part of the Turning Point USA campus tour, because they're just going to flood the students with propaganda against Jews. And what did Tucker Carlson do this week? He bought a home in Doha, Qatar. And what was his reasoning? Well, everyone says I'm bought and paid for by the Qatari government, so I'm going to buy a home to prove that I'm not. Well, what do you think? We're stupid? Doha, Qatar is a very expensive place to live. Where did the money come from for you to buy that house, Tucker? Qatar paid for your home. So don't give us that bullshit. We know that Qatar paid for your home. And how does buying a home in Doha not prove that you're bought and paid for by the Qatari government? Again, do you think we're stupid? You must think we're stupid. You're stupid. You're stupid to be bought and paid for by the people that are a part of the terrorist regime in Qatar. You're stupid to continue to put people like Milo Yiannopoulos and Nick Fuentes on your networks. Milo Yiannopoulos called Charlie Kirk gay. What the hell? He didn't challenge it. Former Congressman George Santos did. He challenged Milo. He says, you can't call him gay. What the hell? He said, first of all, he's dead. In Judaism and in Christianity, you're not allowed to speak ill about the dead. But to just blatantly say, for Milo to blatantly say he's gay, does he have proof of that? Has he been with him intimately? Has he seen him with other men? Where's the proof? Same thing with Candace Owens. She says she has all this proof. Where the hell is it? Where's the smoking gun? Where's the proof, sweetheart? You're just a mouthpiece. You talk and you don't have any action. That's why I say to people, stop watching her, stop following her, stop subscribing. She is just all talk. She doesn't have the proof. She doesn't have the proof. She never will have the proof. And she's just telling you she's got proof to have you watch her damn show and like and subscribe and pay her bills. She's a loser. She's trying to be a winner, but she is a loser. I told you she lost a lot of credibility at Turning Point. She lost a lot of credibility with Dennis Prager, and then getting fired by Ben Shapiro at Daily Wire. She's got no credibility. Tucker Carlson was on Fox News. He was fired. He's got no credibility. The man was making millions on Fox News. Now he's trying to rebuild back that income. Megyn Kelly got fired from Fox News. She got fired from NBC. She's a loser too. Just trying to build up her base, her platform. InfoWars is not the same either. Alex Jones spews a lot of anti-Semitic crap. I applaud Tim Pool for attacking Candace Owens. But the issue is that these damn people that are not real Republicans or not real conservatives, they infiltrate the Republican Party and then they cause havoc. And the alt-right movement of the Republican Party, these people are not Republicans. The Republican Party is too divided right now. And we are so divided that we're losing races that we shouldn't. We lost a race in Miami to a seat that was run by a Republican for 30 years. It just flipped Democrat. That pisses me off because myself and my Jexit organization, we worked heavily in Miami to flip Miami-Dade from D to R. My governor did that with us. All these seats are flipping. It's not good. It's not good at all. And this is going to make it hard in the midterms. Republicans need to come out for local races and state races. They cannot be complicit. The voter turnout has been astronomically low for Republicans. And these are hardcore Trump supporters. These are hardcore conservatives that usually vote on the day. But special elections, local elections, and congressional races are very important, especially for next year. Because if we have a bunch of flip seats from R to D, we're going to be screwed. If Hakeem Jeffries becomes the Speaker of the House, we are doubly screwed. It's going to be a repeat of Trump's first term. And we'll get nothing done. Our job right now is to secure the Republican Party, secure the Republican ticket, expand it, but expand it to better people, not these alt-right morons, not these anti-Semites like Candace Owens and rhinos. That's why I say vet your people properly. Go through their social media, interview them, talk to them one-on-one, get to know them. That's what I do every day as a political consultant. I will only work with someone that I feel shares the same values as Donald Trump and the heart of the MAGA movement and the heart of America first. So again, stop listening to Candace Owens. Watch our program, like and subscribe. We're on 6 platforms. We're on YouTube, Instagram, X, Truth Social, Parler, and TikTok. At America's Pulse Network, you can't forget us. Well, before we go to the break, don't forget about rncstore.com/ALL. That is Richardson Nutritional Center. You have to put in the URL code, not the URL code. You have to put in the code ALL. That is the discount code to get 10% off. We are going to the holiday season. I know a lot of people are trying to lose weight between Thanksgiving and Christmas and Hanukkah. I know I'm trying to lose weight because I have a big event coming up at the end of the year. So please, guys, please go to rncstore.com/ALL. Put in ALL, get the 10% discount, feel better about yourself, get some energy, build your immune system, reduce your cancer, prevent yourself from getting cancer so you can live a happy and healthy life. And we will be right back after the break.
Hi, I'm Alexandra Levine. I'm a professional opera singer, actress, TV, and radio personality. Since 2015, I've been a volunteer, a field director, and a campaign manager, learning the ins and outs of the political world. That's why I became a political consultant. My job is to lead you to victory with organization, structure, and the mindset of winning for your district or state. With my guidance and direction, I can keep you focused on the things that matter to the people and advise you on key issues that need to be addressed. If you're a serious candidate that is serious about winning, then book a consultation with me today. Go to levineconsulting.co. You'll be happy you did.
Well, hello, everyone. Hello, this is Alexandra Levine live with the America's Pulse Network. Yes, I have a different look tonight. I'm wearing my Blu-ray glasses, actually. These are really great if you suffer from headaches, migraines, from being on electronics all day. That's why I wear them. They're not prescription, but they do really block me from, getting that headache or getting that migraine from being on the computer or being on the phone for too long. But, and I went back to curly, haha. So we are saying Merry Christmas again. The holidays are coming. We just finished Thanksgiving. We're going into Christmas Eve, Christmas, Hanukkah. Actually, it's Hanukkah first, then Christmas, and New Year's. But I want to remind our audience the clip of what Kamala Harris said a few years ago. Let's play the clip.
And when we all sing happy tunes and sing Merry Christmas and wish each other Merry Christmas, these children are not going to have a Merry Christmas. How dare we speak Merry Christmas? How dare we?
And now we go to the flip side of what President Trump said. Let's play that clip. How did he respond to Kamala Harris?
We are stopping cold the attacks on Judeo-Christian values. Thank you. Thank you very much. And something I said so much during the last 2 years, but I'll say it again as we approach the end of the year. You know, we're getting near that beautiful Christmas season that people don't talk about anymore. They don't use the word Christmas because it's not politically correct. You go to department stores and they'll say Happy New Year and they'll say other things and it'll be red. They'll have it painted, but they don't say, well, guess what? We're saying Merry Christmas again.
And he's very true. And he's 100% correct. When I would go into department stores, they would say Happy Holidays, which is so cold. Now, I'm Jewish. I don't care if you say Merry Christmas to me. We live in a Christian nation. The majority of people live in America are Christian. I'm not going to take offense to them saying Merry Christmas. I respond back and say Happy Hanukkah. And they're like, oh, you're Jewish? But I would never say to them, don't say Merry Christmas. And Kamala Harris was referring to, when she said the kids, she's referring to illegal kids. Of course, they made up the lie that President Trump separated mothers from their families and put kids in cages, which of course we all know Barack Hussein Obama did. And they were trying to make President Trump out to be a monster. But it's all about the beautiful Christmas season and the Christmas spirit. And we have to say Merry Christmas. We have to. And Happy Hanukkah and Happy Kwanzaa and Happy New Year. Some people just say Happy New Year, but they forget to say the holidays in between. And as I said last week on my show, I love the fact that Hanukkah is coming first. So we, Judeo-Christians, our Judeo-Christian values, we can celebrate Hanukkah. The Christian community will see how Hanukkah is done. Hopefully, God willing, we won't have vigilantes that will try to burn menorahs or break down menorahs. Hopefully, there'll be like some maturity, I should say, with the holiday. But I want the Christian community to see Hanukkah. I encourage any non-Jew to go to a menorah lighting. There's tons of them. There's a huge one in White Marsh, Maryland on Sunday night. This Sunday night is the first night of Hanukkah, December 14th at sundown in White Marsh. You can look it up. It's with the Chabad of White Marsh and the Chabad of Pikesville. They all get together and they light the menorah. And there's a lot of non-Jews that go. I encourage non-Jews to attend a synagogue service. I'm all about that. I'm here in Florida right now and people are asking me, what do I do for Shabbat? And I told them I go to shul. And these are non-Jews. And they're like, really? Go to shul? I said, yeah. They said, you know what? We always wanted to go to shul. And I suggested the one they should go to. And they're like, we're going to go. There's nothing wrong with someone that is not the same religion as you to enter their temple, to see their holidays, to see their traditions, their cultures. I've been to church before with my friends. I've even sung at church. I've sung at Catholic Mass. I've sung at different churches, Methodists, Unitarian churches, especially in high school, because I was in my high school choir. Am I giving up my religion? No. But I'm learning their religion. I'm learning the Christian religion. My background, for those of you who don't know, there was no Jews where I grew up in a small town of Sarasota, Florida. I was the only Jew in the classroom. There was few and far between. And I was very open to knowing and learning about the Christian culture. And in exchange and in return, I taught them all about kosher and about Hanukkah and Passover. I invited a lot of my non-Jewish friends to my home for Passover and for Hanukkah, and they loved it. And Rosh Hashanah, they loved it. And I also want to do it to show that normal, average Jewish people are not evil. They're not like the Bernie Sanders and the George Soros of the world. Because again, as Jews, we are targeted every day now. We're targeted more now than we ever been. Now, I praise President Trump and his cabinet for lowering the anti-Semitism, but it's still there. It hasn't completely gone away. It's going to take a while. But I feel that by me bringing non-Jews into the synagogue, the temple, into my home, they see a different perspective than what you don't see on TV. They see a different perspective from what they read on the internet. And in exchange, I go to churches with them. I see their their services. I love the music. I'm a professional opera singer. I love the music. I wish that more synagogues were more joyful with their songs, to be honest with you. It's fun. I have fun when I'm with my friends at church. And they have fun when they come to synagogue with me. It makes me not ignorant. That's why I don't mind that people say Merry Christmas to me. Because I know it's inevitable that it will happen, especially living in a Christian nation, especially living in areas where there's more Christians than Jews. Now, I can tell you there's more Jews that have moved down to Sarasota since I was born. They have 4 Chabads, which is amazing. Never thought that would happen. They have a huge conservative shul. They have a couple reform shuls. They have a reconstructionist shul. I mean, they've expanded in the Jewish community since I was born in Sarasota, Florida. Now, if you go to Miami, Boca, Fort Lauderdale, there's a Jew on every corner. West Palm Beach, 1 in every 5 people are Jewish. Tallahassee, not a lot of Jews. Gainesville, there's some Jews, but not a lot. The Villages has a lot of Jews. Ocala has a percentage. Jacksonville has a lot of Jews. They have a big Jacksonville Jewish Center. Tampa and St. Petersburg has a lot of Jews. St. Petersburg has a huge JCC. And a lot of Jewish people are moving from New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Virginia, Maryland to Florida and New York. They're moving from New York down to Florida too. So that's where the expansion comes in. But everywhere I went, I wanted to know more about the Christian culture and the Christian community. And also everywhere I went, I wanted to know where the Jews were too. Because like I said, I didn't grow up with Jews. So I went to a Jewish camp when I was 11 years old in Clayton, Georgia. I was like, oh my God, this is like so foreign to me to see Jews. And all these like Jewish girls were looking down at me like, what the hell's her problem? Is she messed up? Because they all go to Jewish day schools and they were all from New York or they were from Miami, California, places with a big hub of Jews. And I just didn't grow up with a big hub of Jews, so I found it fascinating. And they would look at me like I was a freak. But you shouldn't limit yourself. I mean, I drive around the different neighborhoods here in Florida. There's a guy with a huge lighting show, and the sign on top of it says Jesus Saves. And he also has a menorah in there too. And he plays Christian music all night. But at least he's honoring the Jewish people having a menorah there. But I think it's fun what he does too. How he celebrates Christmas in his home and outside. And there's people that come with golf carts and they take pictures and they record the whole thing. And each year the lighting show gets bigger and bigger and the music gets louder and louder. So everybody celebrates their holiday in their own way. You shouldn't frown upon that person. You shouldn't turn your back on that person. You shouldn't discriminate against that person. And that's what Trump is about. So by you saying Merry Christmas, whether you're Jewish or not, whether you're Christian or not, in a way you want everybody to be merry, in a way you want everybody to observe this monotheistic religion. Christianity and Judaism are both monotheistic religions. And there's nothing wrong with eating a Christmas cookie. There's nothing wrong with going to a Christmas party if you're Jewish. I was at a meeting, I was at like Tim's Central Committee meeting, and they have like their annual Christmas party every December. And like the chairwoman was like, oh my God, should we not say Christmas party? Is that going to offend anybody? Should we call it a holiday party? And I'm like, oh my God, that's so Democrat. But wait, the chairwoman used to be a Democrat. She used to work for Obama, so that makes sense. But the Jewish people that were sitting there like, no, we're not offended. Just call it a Christmas party. If you want to call it Christmas, Hanukkah, that's fine. But, you know, don't change it for us. It's like you're singling the Jews out. Oh my God. She was acting nuts. We weren't offended by it. She just assumed. So what did they keep? They kept the name, the BCRCC Christmas party. And the majority of the Jews that are part of the committee, they came. They brought kosher food. They brought Jewish star cookies, whatever, and it was fine. But it's really sad. It's really sad that we have to worry about saying Merry Christmas. I say it everywhere I go. I say it at department stores. I say it at Starbucks. So my challenge to my viewers and to people outside, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to say Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa. Don't say Happy Holidays. It's so cold. I feel like it's condescending, actually. And teach your children about the holidays. Take your children to a menorah lighting, Christmas tree lighting. Introduce them. If you're non-Jewish, go to a synagogue. If you're Jewish, go to a church that you feel comfortable with. There's no one converting you, and if they do, you leave. It's just a way to see a different perspective, a different way of life. But this holiday season should be a good season for everybody. I want everybody to be happy and merry. I want everybody to get married and have kids. I want everybody to have wonderful New Year's resolutions and keep them, whether it's losing weight, having kids, getting married, whatever it is. Keep to your resolution and stick with it. Stick with your gut. Because next year is a big year and we cannot lose the midterms Republicans. We cannot be complicit. We have to have the right people in office, because if not, nothing will get done and we'll be back to square one. Well, before we go to our second break, don't forget my second affiliate sponsor, Folium PX. This is really great for your body. Also, this is a full body detox. So the reason my skin looks a little fair tonight is because I had a Diamond Glow facial, which I recommend to men and women. So what it's doing is it detoxes my face. It also exfoliates my skin. I had dermal planing done, which means they took off the dead skin off my face, but I got free radical support. And my esthetician said my skin was so good. Well, it's because of taking Folium PX. So Folium PX revitalizes your skin, reduces hyperpigmentation, reduces sensitivity, reduces redness, which is very common around this time of year, and also helps to hydrate your skin as well and boost your immune system. So if you want good skin for this winter, because there's massive snowstorms going across the Midwest and so forth right now as we speak, and Maryland and so forth, get foliumpx.com. Go on the website, click that QR code. It goes right to my, my code. So you do get a discount. So please, guys, this stuff is so good. And if I hadn't taken this stuff, who knows what my skin would have looked like without getting all the dermaplaning and red light therapy I had today. So please, guys, go to foliumpx.com, get your toxic heavy metal, get your full body detox, get your free radical support. And I know that foliumpxrnc.com, they all have some Hanukkah and Christmas specials going on right now and New Year's specials. So get it today. And with that, we will be right back after the break.
Welcome to America's Pulse Network. This is APN's very own White House correspondent, Alexandra Levine.
This is so amazing and miraculous. We've never had a president in the history of our nation doing this. And we hope to God that he continues doing this forever and ever. Thank you. God bless you, everybody. And God bless President Trump.
And God bless you.
Hello, everyone. This is Alexandra Levine with the America's Pulse Network. I am the White House correspondent right here in the heart of D.C. as President Trump is celebrating 250 years of America and the military.
Subscribe and follow America's Pulse Network on the above social medias.
Well, hey guys, this is Alexandra Levine live with the America's Pulse Network. Again, you are all in tonight with me, Alexandra Levine. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Excuse me, I'm going to scratch my nose. Don't forget to like, oh my God, I'm doing it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my show. We are also always looking for sponsors to sponsor my show, to sponsor the entire network. If you're interested, go to americaspulsenetwork.com and fill out the sponsorship form. If you're interested in joining our network, like I said, we're doing very well week after week. We're expanding our shows. We're getting a lot more people, a lot of new people in our network. Go to americaspulsenetwork.com, fill out the podcasting form, and be a part of our network. We're a great crew, and we love each other. We're a great family, and we protect each other. We support one another, And we really love what we do. We're very passionate about what we do. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe now to America's Pulse Network on our YouTube channel, Parler, TikTok, Rumble, Truth Social, Instagram, and I think that's it. We're on like 6 or 7 platforms right now, and we are just kicking butt. So this segment is really important, frauds and politics, because there's a lot of rumbling right now. As you know, we are in a political cycle right now. We have a lot of elections going on next year, some big elections, but particularly local and municipality elections. And as I said, politics is local. What I'm finding right now with the Republican Party is they're becoming very complicit with these local level or state level races. Like I said earlier, in Miami, they flipped a seat, a local seat that had been Republican for 30 years to Dem, and they gave it to a hardcore Democrat socialist in Miami-Dade. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what the hell? But we have a chance here. If we work together as one and cut the BS, we can get some really good hardcore conservative Republicans in office. But the issue is that there's a lot of rhinos that are trying to infiltrate, that are trying to take over. They don't want to lose their rhinoism. They don't want to lose their rhino power. And rhinos love it when real conservative Republicans lose. They thrive off of it. I think they're bought and paid for by a lot of Democrat lobbying firms and special interests and so forth. And I've said that many, many times. Lobbyists and special interests are detriments to our nation. They go up to Capitol Hill and they control the power of the purse. They're worth a lot of money. And if you work with any of these lobbying firms, these special interest firms, they give you any money, they basically own you. And you have to do everything that they tell you to do, because if not, they'll find somebody to primary you out. So it's disgusting. It's really disgusting. So currently we have a lot of frauds in politics. And I'm going to put up a couple slides, and I'm going to talk about each individual person one by one as I go through the slides. So let's put up the first one. So this is, as you know, she will be a former Congresswoman coming soon, Marjorie Taylor Greene, standing with who else but Code Pink. Code Pink is an anti-Trump, anti-Israel lobbying organization. What does that woman's shirt say? Palestine liberation? With a kafife scarf around her neck. Now, why in the hell would Marjorie Taylor Greene stand with Code Pink? Well, as we know, Marjorie Taylor Greene is a known anti-Semite. She thinks that Israel has committed genocide. She thinks Israel controls President Trump. She hates Bibi Netanyahu. She hates the Israeli government. She hates the fact that we work with Israel. She hates the fact that we helped Israel bomb the 2 big nuclear power plants in Israel. She hates the fact that we gave money to Israel. She hates the fact that Israel has an Iron Dome. And she hates AIPAC. She thinks AIPAC controls a lot of the power in Washington. And they are just a hardcore leftist Jewish organization that will do anything they can to stop her and other people that she cares about, which is not true, by the way. A lot of people, and she also lied and said that AIPAC is an Israeli group, which they're not. They're an American group. So Marjorie Taylor Greene stands with one of the leaders of Code Pink, calls her a friend. This was yesterday. And then today, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem was testifying on Capitol Hill. And who do you think was protesting Kristi Noem today? Code Pink. Was that pay to play? Was that orchestrated by Marjorie Taylor Greene? I guess now that she's resigning as a congresswoman January 5th, her true colors are coming out. She goes on 60 Minutes last week with Leslie Stahl, and she tells the country and the world she's not MAGA. She said, MAGA is President Trump. I'm America first and America only. That's why this woman could never be president of the United States. This woman could never lead a country, a nation. You have to work with your allies. You have to work with things that are going on overseas. You can't just limit yourself to just working with Americans. Yes, of course, you must take care of your own, and you must put your own first, which is what President Trump is doing. You're taking care of your own by making sure that your allies are still your allies and your enemies are still your enemies. You take care of your own when you make sure that your enemies don't walk on your damn soil. You take care of your own when you revoke these illegal terrorist visas. You take care of your own when ICE agents come in and get rid of these illegal criminals or people that have overstayed their welcome. That's taking care of your own. That is America first. But Marjorie Taylor Greene doesn't understand that concept. Or she does, and she's just pissed off that President Trump didn't support her when she wanted to run for Senator of Georgia. And President Trump was right. If she would have won, she would have lost. If she tries to run now, she'll lose. And I agree with my friend Donald Willinger. She has really changed since her divorce. She's an adulterous biatch, by the way. She committed multiple affairs with her husband. I wouldn't be surprised if she had an affair with Kevin McCarthy when he became speaker. She cozied up to him because she wanted to get back on her congressional committees. Because under Speaker Pelosi, who she praised, Speaker Pelosi got her off all her congressional committees. So I don't understand why she was praising the woman. Then she goes and kisses Kevin McCarthy's ass, takes a very intimate picture with him, constantly cheating on her husband. And now she's dating a White House correspondent for Real America's Voice. And I feel bad for him because he's been kind of demoted. The president doesn't really pay attention to him anymore. I don't really see him in the White House that much, asking the president questions. I don't understand why her boyfriend would stand with her. I guess he supports what she supports. And I know that Marjorie Taylor Greene's kids are all liberal. They're all into like the transgender movement and crap. So Marjorie Taylor Greene fooled a lot of us. She fooled a lot of people for many years. I'm glad that President Trump called her out. I'm glad that she's leaving Congress. But I wouldn't say that she's completely gone. You will be hearing from her. But it's for we, the American people, to decide if we still want to keep her around in office or if she becomes dust in the wind. I don't think people should give her a platform. I don't think people should praise her or crap on her. They should just stop listening to her. But this picture was the most shocking picture and actually very unexpected. I did not peg that she was going to stand next to Code Pink, especially after she has been begging and pleading to release the Epstein files. But this woman's an effing hypocrite because she attacked AIPAC, who is a Jewish lobbying firm. But then she goes and stands by Code Pink, which is a lobbying firm. Let's go to the next picture. These three men, and I don't like to say their names, but I will tonight. So the guy on the left with the glasses, his name is J.D. Urbach. He is a hardcore rhino, and he's really a Democrat. He supported Pete Buttigieg for president. He supports Pete Buttigieg now. He hates Donald Trump. He hates Donald Trump so much that he reposts and retweets things that Mitt Romney has said about Donald Trump, Mark Milley, Mad Doc Mattis, and Rex Tillerson. J.D. Urbach, as recently as last weekend, took it upon himself to get upset with a potential constituent of his, or maybe a constituent of his now, because he's now on the BCRCC Central Committee. He was mad at Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth for stopping narco-terrorists coming into our country. He said that Donald Trump shouldn't have done what he did. He didn't have the authority to do it. And Pete Hegseth was terrible. And there was a voter there, his name was Robin Snyder, who was very upset by this. This guy supposedly represents the Republican Party. He was voted in, by the way, appointed. He was not elected by the people. He was illegally appointed. He's not even supposed to be on the committee, to be honest with you. There's pictures of him with Wes Moore, Chris Van Hollen, and Johnny Oshevsky, all Democrat socialists. And this guy is trying to run against him for the County Council seat District 9. Or there's also rumors spreading that he may run for delegate. But he has recently opened up a committee so he can obtain funds. But guess what? The funds aren't going to him. They're going to Tim Fazenmaker. Tim Fazenmaker has been all over his district and the state and outside, getting money, talking to people. They love Tim. This guy comes out of nowhere. His family has even said he's not even really a Republican. He's a Democrat. But those two men that J.D. Yerbeck is staying next to are working with him. The guy in the middle, his name is State Senator Johnny Ray Salling, huge rhino. Loves Larry Hogan. He claims he supports Trump, but he votes for state-funded abortions, voted for the Kerwin bill, which was one of the biggest tax hikes to give to Marylanders. He's been known as a sleazebag. His current wife, who claims she's Jewish, has been around the block in the Muslim community before they got married. I heard the man has like 7 children with 7 different wives. He's a big alcoholic, big drinker, and goes to one of the most religious churches in Dundalk. He claims he's holier than thou. He makes up stuff about people, tries to take people's livelihoods away, tries to break families apart. He's an evil person. I've never met someone so evil, and he's a really good liar. And people are finding out what a liar he is. The guy to his right is his good friend, State Delegate Rick Metzger. Rick Metzger is another rhino Republican and a fraud. He lies all the time about what he does for a living. And he lies that, or he lies about people that are good people. He calls himself a pastor, yet he's not a part of any church. And he holds that Bible high, but when he puts it down, he lies. And he's a big drunk too. He voted also for state-funded abortions. He also voted for the Kerwin bill, and he was the only Republican that voted for the second largest tax hike in Maryland. And everyone in his caucus told Rick Metzger not to vote for it, and he did it anyway. Rick Metzger also voted to expand Obamacare and give health care to illegals. Rick Metzger is also a big talker. Big talker. Acts like he's a man of the Lord, a man of the cloth. But he's fake. He's fake. Johnny Ray Salling's fake, and J.D. Yerbeck is fake. But these people live in one of the most conservative districts in Baltimore County. They live in Johnny Salling has lied about where he lives. There's speculation that he doesn't live in the district. There's speculation that Rick Metzger gets money from foreigners and illegals. And J.D. Yerbeck, he's not even really Republican. But these guys represent Dundalk and Edgemere, which is both of the most conservative areas in Baltimore County. And the district that Tim is running in is Tim's base, Sparrows Point, Dundalk, and Edgemere. It's the most America First MAGA district in Baltimore County. And Rick Metzger and Johnny Ray Salling think that working with JD is going to hurt Tim. Let me tell you something. Their endorsements mean nothing. And anyone that these elected officials back ends up losing anyway. Anyone that the party backs ends up losing anyway. But this is what we're dealing with in Maryland, these faker cakes. These people that live in very Republican areas, claiming that they're Republicans, but yet they vote against the people. And we've called it out. Tim and I have called it out for years, and the constituents are finally now seeing the light. but they're such good liars. And when somebody constantly says a lie over and over and over again, you start to believe it. But your job, Baltimore County, people that live in Dundalk, Essex, and Edgemere, is to make sure that J.D. Urbach doesn't become a county councilman or a delegate, or even get voted back to the Central Committee, because he was never voted, he was appointed. Your job, people that live in Sparrows Point, Edgemere, and Dundalk, is to put Tim Fazenbaker in there, to get the right person in office, someone who gives a darn about his community and his constituents, because these three men don't. Johnny Salling and Rick Metzger just went to Israel in the middle of November before Thanksgiving. They went with a pastoral group, but Johnny Ray Salling isn't a pastor, and Rick Metzger isn't a traditional pastor. So how the hell did these men get to Israel? They certainly don't have the money. They don't make enough to go to Israel. So they either got a grant from the organization they went with, or they lied and said they were pastors. And that's being investigated right now, because they don't have the money to go to Israel. Not at all. I know that for a fact. And they went and didn't tell anybody. And they probably want on taxpayer dollars too. But don't trust these three men in Baltimore, guys. These three men cannot be trusted. Let's go to the next slide. This guy is State Senator Chris West of 42B. He is retiring. He is a huge rhino. He hates Donald Trump. Hates him. He wrote an entire letter to the Baltimore County Central Committee and many others, stating that he would not support President Trump if he was the nominee in 2024, and that he said we should do everything to stop President Trump from becoming the nominee in 2024. He's a big Nikki Haley supporter. This guy controls a lot of what goes on in the Baltimore County Republican Central Committee. There's also speculation that he may run for Baltimore County executive at the last second, at the last moment, the last day, because he's not really happy with the people that are running there now, or running for the seat now. This guy is a detriment to the Republican Party. This guy should become a Democrat, because he really is a Democrat. This guy hurt a very good guy named Rob Daniels, who's running as the independent for Baltimore County executive. And Rob Daniels was running for judge, and he was the most qualified. And Chris West worked with a couple other people to make sure that Rob Daniels didn't get that judge position. Chris West is an evil human being. He's old. He's like over 80 years old. Why is he causing havoc? Why won't he allow the Republican Party to serve the people? Why can't he admit that Donald Trump is the head of the Republican Party? And he has his predecessor, this guy that works under him, Deputy Chief of Staff Alex Harlan, who's running for a seat as well. And I asked Alex Harlan, I said, do you stand by the comments that your boss said to you? And he says, no, I don't. And I said, well, you're the Deputy Chief of Staff. You have to. Or why didn't you tell your boss you can't say these things about Donald Trump? Take him back. I said, why didn't you leave? If you vehemently love Donald Trump and don't support what your boss said, why didn't you leave? And his response was, well, it's a job. I'm there for the job. I'm there for the money. I don't agree with my boss, but I have to stick it out because I need a job. Really? Is that worth it at that point? That's how evil these people are. Let's go to the next slide. So we talked about Chris West. This guy is Adam Wood. Adam Wood is the executive director for the MD-GOP under Nicole Harris. Adam Wood was the campaign manager for Nicole Ambrose when she ran for Congress in 2022 illegally. And Adam Wood was from Kansas. He only worked on a couple campaigns in North Carolina, failing campaigns. Moves his entire life to Maryland for his woman, Nicole Ambrose. And now he just announced that he's running for Chris West's seat, 42B. And Chris West just recently endorsed him. His girlfriend, Nicolai Ambrose, endorsed him too. And Chris Tomlinson endorsed him too. So 3 endorsements. Now, Chris West knows that there's a firefighter named Kevin Ford who's running for the seat. And he's on a slate with Nino Maggione, who's running for county council, and Pat Dyer running for county executive. And Nino and Chris West, I thought they were friends. But for Chris West to break away from Nino and his slate and endorse this Adam Wood guy, and then I found out that the party is pumping or is going to pump $50,000 into Adam Wood's campaign. Makes me sick. Adam Wood should step down as the executive director, or Nicole Harris's boss should fire him because of his conflict of interest that he's still the executive director and he's running for office. Because under the bylaws, you are not allowed to endorse a candidate before the primary. And Adam Wood has access to all the donor lists. He has access to the RNC because his girlfriend is the RNC committee chairwoman. And it's complete conflict of interest. He's going to control who gets in and who doesn't. And he doesn't like Trump, and he's not conservative. He hates anybody who's conservative. For him to have this power makes me sick. For Chris West to do this shows how low these people will go to keep the rhinoism and the Democrat mindset in Maryland. And this is why the Republicans in Maryland lose every time. They don't want conservatives to achieve anything. They don't want their central committees to thrive. And this is all Larry Hogan's doing too, because Chris West and Larry Hogan are very good friends, and Larry Hogan is very close with Adam Wood. Don't be surprised if Larry Hogan comes out and endorses Adam Wood. But everyone is shaken up by this. But I want to see more people from the Central Committee shaken up about this. And I want people calling for this guy to resign as executive director. I was actually asked to be executive director, not by Nicole Harris, but other people. I was nominated. They wanted me to be the executive director of the MDGOP because they knew that I would go in there and shape it up and fix it and make it better. But because I'm a hardcore Trump supporter, nope, didn't get the job. But you know what? I don't want the damn job. Because I don't want to take the fall for the party failing. Because he has been the worst executive director. The person before him, Corinne Frank, was a lot better. This guy, Adam Wood, has no experience and no business running for Chris West's seat. And everybody thought that Kevin Wood was going to take Chris West's seat. It shows you the backstabbing that goes on in politics, whether it's in Maryland or any state. The reason I'm focusing on Maryland is because I do a lot of work there. But people in Baltimore County, please know the people that you're voting for. Vet these people like I do. Do your research. Adam Wood is the executive director for the MDGOP. He's screwing around with the RNC committee chairwoman. And who is that? Let's go to the next slide. And that's the RNC committee chairwoman, Nicolai Ambrose. And everybody says how wonderful she is, how sweet she is, how hardcore Trump conservative she is. It's fake. It's a facade. When I met this woman, I was so irked by her fakeness. She claims she's an opera singer, yet she's only sung one opera in her life. She's actually more of a Broadway singer. She has a good voice. I'll give her credit for that. She has a decent voice. She was definitely trained. But I was very nice to her when I met her. I actually wanted to sing with her, and she blew me off. She hates the fact that I can sing. She hates the fact I have a musical background. She hates the fact I sing opera. She's very jealous, a very jealous woman. And I'm like 20 years younger than her. But she is screwing with Adam Wood. She's the RNC committee chairwoman, yet she's had losses across the board. She illegally ran for Congress. Under the bylaws, she was supposed to step down as the RNC committee chairwoman. Dirk Hare, the former MD GOP chairman, called her out on it. So did Nicole Bennett, who was the former MD GOP first vice chair. And Nicole Ambrose threatened to sue them if they got rid of her, if they made her never come back on to be the RNC committee chairwoman. She said, well, I have lawyers in the RNC that will sue you guys. You broke the bylaws, lady. And Adam Wood was her campaign manager. And this woman's all about election integrity. Yet she didn't get any wins across the board. And if she gets massive losses in 2026, she should just resign. Why the hell is she giving herself victory laps and screwing Adam Wood when she hasn't had any victories? And people say she's a hardcore Trump supporter. Then why was she involved with Ken Cuccinelli in 2016 at the convention to try to hurt Donald Trump? Everybody knows this. It's actually a public record. President Trump has never endorsed her for RNC committee chairwoman. He definitely didn't endorse her for Congress. Larry Hogan endorsed her for Congress. Larry Hogan's her buddy. She loves Larry Hogan. And Nicolay Ambrose is involved with Johnny Ray Salling and Rick Metzger and J.D. Erbach and all of these rhinos in Maryland. And she calls and begs all these men for money because she doesn't really know how to raise money herself. And she basically threatens them too. She says, I need your credit card. She demands it. And if they don't help her out, she tries to destroy their reputation, hurt them. The woman is divorced. I read in the court cases that she beat up her husband. She lost full custody of her children. She gained it back recently because she played the part of being the battered wife. And she kept her married name Ambrose when her ex-husband said, get rid of my name. Why do you think she kept her married name? Because she's the first name on the ticket. Because her last name, her maiden name, starts with a W, so she'd be the last person on the ticket. Total political strategy. And why do you think Adam Wood is with her? For political gain, for fame. They're both just using each other. It's hilarious. But they keep getting away with it. So again, my challenge to you Marylanders is to not allow these people to get away, is to take them down, make sure they don't get elected, and get these rhinos out of Maryland. And people will always say, oh, Maryland is a lost cause, blah, 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 blah. But 2026, like I said, is going to be a big year. And Donald Trump, even though his name isn't on the ticket, he will be very heavily involved. Donald Trump knows who are the conservative people in each party, in each state. He knows who he can and cannot trust. I brought this all to the president's attention as a White House correspondent. Caroline Leavitt knows all about this. They all know the people in Maryland that are good and the people in Maryland that are bad. And Chris West and Adam Wood and Nicolay Ambrose and Johnny Ray Salling and J.D. Erbach and Rick Metzger are all bad people in Maryland. Now, a lot of people may disagree with me. I know a lot of people love this woman. But I have talked to her one-on-one. I never felt so uncomfortable with a woman in my life. She was stressing me out with her fakeness. She's the most fake person I've ever met in my life. And I get along with everybody. She plays a part. They all play a part. Adam Wood plays a part. They all play a part. I've asked Nicole Harris to really look into the situation that's going on around her. And there are people from the Central Committee that are actually threatened to file complaints, ethics complaints, if Adam Wood doesn't resign as executive director of the MDGOP. Nicolay Ambrose should have resigned as the RNC committee chairwoman after breaking the bylaws. A lot of people broken bylaws in Maryland and they don't care. These are political fraudsters. These are people that will take your money and run and not do for the will of the people and just be self-serving, and they don't care if they lose. And they always come up with an excuse why they lost. Or they say, well, we won in this race and we won in that race. They take credit for races that they don't even, that they're not even a part of. That's the ironic part of the whole thing. They take credit for races that they did not help. When the party helps you in Maryland, you lose. When the party helps you, when the Republican Party in any Democrat state helps you, you lose. Don't let the party sabotage you. Don't kiss up to the party. They're not even going to raise money for you. They're not raising money for the gubernatorial race, and they're going to give money to whoever they want. They're picking and choosing. They're going to give $50,000 to Adam Wood, who doesn't. And the funny thing is, where Chris West lives, his district is so Republican. It's a shoo-in for any Republican. But why are they jacking up all this money into Adam Wood? That's something we all have to investigate. The seat is not vulnerable to be flipped. But why are they putting so much money into Adam Wood and not money into, I don't know, Kimberly Stansberry, Tim Fazenbaker? People that are really going to win and people that really love our country. But like I said, party doesn't help you. When you work with the party, you fail. That's why here on my network, I support people that I know are going to win. And I support people that the president knows about. And I support people that believe in America first, the MAGA movement, taking care of their constituents. That's why we're going to put up my good friend, Tim Fazenbaker. Let's put him up right now. There he is. So Tim Fazenbaker, as we speak, is at a political event. He has been going all over the country, all over the nation, all over the district. Please, guys, go to timfazenbaker.com. Please, guys, make a donation to him. He's running for Baltimore County Council District 9 against J.D. Urbach. Maybe J.D. Urbach hasn't officially filed, so we don't know what the hell he's running for. But he may be running against him, and we don't want him. He's a rhino/Democrat. He's a Pete Buttigieg supporter. So please, guys, go to timfazenbaker.com. That's TIMFAZENBAKER.com. Make a donation today. He's getting donations all over the place in all different increments. The more you give to Tim, the more he can help. And he needs to be in that position. This is his to win. And county executive, there is only one person that you guys should even be looking at is my friend Kimberly Stansberry. Yep. Join her in supporting Committee to Elect Kimberly Stansberry. Go to electkimstansberry.org. She is the only woman that is running for county executive. If she wins, it will be history. She'll be the first elected woman as county executive in Baltimore County. She knows the county like no other. She knows the role. Her husband served our nation. He died just a few years ago after the primary in 2022. He was a good man, her husband, Bill. And we call her Mama Bear. And she gets along with everybody. And she's a sweet woman that lives in Towson. She lives in a very wealthy neighborhood, $1 million homes in Towson. And she has done so much for the community. She's helped the homeless. She's helped people during COVID. She gives back to her community. So again, guys, go to electkimstansberry.org. That's electkimstansberry.org. Give a donation today. And of course, we always support our veterans here on this network. Seth Eisenberg from the Conservative Corner. He has his GoFundMe. He's raised over $6,400. The goal is $10,000. The official goal will be $100,000. But he really needs your help, guys, because he's supporting his son. He's supporting another lady friend of his, and he needs your help. And he almost lost his foot twice. And we need to give back to our veterans. It's very important. So instead of giving to terrorists and rhinos and illegals and democratic socialists, time to give to Seth Eisenberg. So go to GoFundMe.com/help/Jonas/Eisenberg/overcome/health/crisis and give a donation today. And of course, guys, don't forget that this Sunday night is the first night of Hanukkah, December 14th. Please, guys, go to a menorah lighting near you. You can Google it, menorah lighting. It's going to start right at sundown. I know there's one in White Marsh in Maryland. And I mean, they're all over the country. Go to Chabad, go to a conservative shul, go to any place, and it's going to be outside. So it will be cold. So bundle up, but go to a menorah lighting. It's a beautiful thing. You meet a lot of people, drink some wine, have some fun, eat some latkes, eat some Hanukkah cookies, and have fun and play dreidel. Dreidel is a great game. It's such a cute game. And bring your kids too. If you have kids, bring your kids. But yes, happy Hanukkah, everyone. It is 8 miraculous days. Hanukkah in Hebrew means dedication. The story of Hanukkah is all about miracles, having one light, or having oil for one light that ended up lasting and lighting up 8 lights. That's the story of Hanukkah. It's about miracles. How this guy Judah Maccabee, the hammer, how he fought the Assyrians and won, and how he took his people from slavery into freedom. Everything about Judaism is about taking people from slavery to freedom. We are free people now. We want to stay free. So please, guys, go to a Hanukkah menorah lighting. And don't forget, this Sunday, you will have Seth Eisenberg from the Conservative Corner from 7 to 8:30 p.m. He will be live with us. We love him. He's awesome. And of course, don't forget to watch The Pulse every 8 to 9 p.m. on Wednesday. We've been having a lot of repeated shows because of the holidays, but we will be coming live soon, especially coming into 2026. We will be on more live. It's just because of the holidays, we're all on vacation. We're all kind of taking time with our children. A lot of kids are off of school, so this is like a good time to go on vacation. So we will keep you abreast if we are live or if we have repeated shows. But don't forget, guys, to follow The Pulse every 8 to 9 p.m. on Wednesday night. And then we have Damon Galdo from the Jersey Shore every Friday nights from 8 to 9 p.m. and Monday nights from 8 to 9 p.m. You can follow him at Damon Galdo on X, at Damon Galdo on Facebook. And of course, you can follow Seth Eisenberg at The Conservative Corner on Facebook and at Conservative Seth on X. And also don't forget me, Alexandra Levine, every Tuesday and Thursday night from 8 to 9 p.m. You can follow me, Alexandra Levine, on Facebook, at Alexandra Levi 20 on X, at AirLevine85 on Instagram, TikTok, Truth Social, Parler, Rumble, and I think that's it. I'm on like 5 to 7 platforms. I'm very accessible. Thank you guys for watching. Again, happy Hanukkah. And the reason you listen and the reason you watch is you are no idiot.
America's Pulse Network. The mainstream media is bought and paid for. The truth is twisted to fit their agenda. But America is waking up because podcasts are the future for trusted media. Welcome to the America's Pulse Network. It is a network built by patriots that upholds the Constitution. The America's Pulse Network stands for God, truth, and the America First movement. There is no corporate propaganda, no government spin, just real news, real talk, and real voices fighting for faith, freedom, and the future of this great nation with common sense. Here are some of America's Pulse Network podcasts. Alexandra Levine Live, hosted by Alexandra Levine. Jersey Shore Podcast, hosted by Damon Galdo. The Conservative Corner, hosted by Seth Eisenberg. APN's The Pulse, hosted by Alexandra, Damon, Elena, and Seth. So tune into America's Pulse Network on the following social media platforms: X/Twitter, Rumble, Truth Social, Parler, Facebook, and YouTube. Join the revolution. Because the pulse of America beats for God and country. America's Pulse Network is for faith, family, freedom, and truth.
Thank you for watching this episode of Alexandra Levine Live. So please click subscribe and then share on your favorite social medias. This way you will get notified of each upcoming episode. We look forward to hearing from you on upcoming episodes.